Happy New Year. We have finally made it to 2021. Everybody has been very much looking forward to this moment. 2020 was a real dumpster fire face of the year. It's gone. She's in the past. We are moving forwards. It is onwards and upward. And in honor of that, we are going to be doing a Get Real with Morgan today, which is very exciting. I'm still not brushing my hair in 2021, so that hasn't changed. Not a lot of resolutions coming through. Hey kids. The first question is from Trisham X. What was one thing you learned about yourself this year? One thing I learned about myself this year is that I have definitely evolved as a human being. I have really gotten myself to a place where I have started to calm down and rid myself of daily anxieties that I was putting on myself. I'm just a little bit more calm. And you're literally, all the producers behind the scenes are like, that bitch is not calm. 2020 for me has definitely been a year of evolution. True growth and evolution. Lubna Afzal. Hey Morgan, lots of love and best wishes your way. Want to know how quarantine this year made you realize about the things you took for granted before? I feel like everybody, we've obviously had our fair share of the pandemic hitting us pretty hard and just not being able to do the normal things that we like to do. Going to dinner, hanging out with friends, being festive for the holidays, everything really just sort of took a turn. But also I am not one to complain. I can't complain too much about the reality that I live. I'm very fortunate and I know that. And I acknowledge that to myself every single day. Say What says, I love you, Morgan. Love you too. What are you looking forward to in 2021 besides baby, of course? Baby, of course. I'm just going to say that. Being kind of vapid right now. Why not? We've been so serious with all the other questions. I really would like to get back into the jeans that I was wearing before birth. I'm very excited for that mirror selfie where I'm holding her and I'm just like back in those jeans because it's been very hard for me. I'm a big jeans girl and not be able to wear my jeans has been a little bit weird. Also, I don't go anywhere, so I don't really know why I need to wear jeans, but you know what I mean. I'm excited to do that. What else? The human pushing part. I'm excited to accomplish that just to get through the birth and hopefully not have a lot of tearing. Somebody told me that pushing out a baby is like pushing out a spiky basketball out of the rim of your vagina. So I'm really excited about that. I haven't seen my vagina in quite a long time. I'm going to take a hand mirror to it and just say bye. And thanks for all you've done. And then I was explaining to Jordan about the spiky basketball coming out. And then he said, well, don't forget about the shoulders. Direct quote. What the the shoulders? Now I don't even care about the head because once the head's through, it's fine. But the little shoulders like being pulled. It's like breaking a wishbone. Like, why are there human shoulders that need to come out? But then I also have moments of myself where I'm like, get the over yourself. There were women who were giving birth in caves and in tents, and literally they're giving birth on the side of a freeway if they have to. I'm also kind of excited to get back to work after. I'm excited to see how I'm going to feel about that. You know, what if I'm like, never want to do that again? Yeah, right. The attention I need. So I hit a nerve. Something went wrong when I was doing these bad boys about 6.5 years ago, maybe 7 at this point. Someone hit something. She's not coming back to life to live. So it drags down. It looks like there's a big problem. So now I've realized, because what I was trying to do was I was trying to overcorrect it with filler for the past few years, but it's not an actual fullness of the lip amount. It's that the bitch is dead. It needs a defibrillator. And I think my AirPods just died. The Bachelor premiered this week. First Black Bachelor ever, which is insanity. Matt James, very attractive. Seems like actually a pretty nice guy. Met all of the women who tried to impress him and show up to the house. There was the dildo girl. I didn't like the dildo girl. Like, my conservative maternal instincts kicked in and I was like, do we need to bring like the dildo? Like, I don't know. I get the point is to stand out. It just really didn't do much for me. There was lingerie girl. Then there was Lady in the Tramp girl with the single spaghetti. Like, we know leading with that is really not going to get you far. Like, the first second makeout, that's a lot of pressure. If a guy showed up to meet the Bachelorette and tried to put a noodle in her mouth for her to suck down to meet your lips, wouldn't go well. And then we obviously have the queen, aka Victoria. She was carried in. I get the point is to keep a long-lasting impression going, have him remember you, do all the things. I would just show up and be funny and normal. I just think all of this extra stuff just takes away from you as a human. Like, no one was clever. Let's just talk about the 2 girls that showed up in the same dress. Producers let that happen. And then ultimately Matt showed us his sweet side and he chose Abigail, who is deaf and basically had no shtick, and just explained that, you know, reading his lips was really helpful to her, and that's just who she is. And he appreciated that she was very real and vulnerable, which is exactly what I said. I think some of these women that go on to meet these men should just go and be themselves and see what happens, and just say, hey, I'm so excited to be here. We're excited for the experience. Can't wait to get to know more about you. Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde just casually strolling to somebody's Montecito wedding hand in hand. Like, I really, just to clarify so everybody's very well aware at home, I'm actually not a pop culture obsessed human being. I like to talk about things that like are interesting and like I think I'm interesting, and so like I like ramble about and like have a funny take sometimes. Sometimes I'm a little tired and bitchy, and Vanessa will like clip in those things. When I saw Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles together, I was very perplexed, and I felt a certain type of way that I did not know how to understand it or to describe it, because massive Harry Styles fan. Less of a massive Olivia Wilde fan, but like her and enjoy her and think she's talented, but she's not like been hot on my radar. When I saw them walking hand in hand, I just felt like I didn't feel, okay, it affects me because I don't know how the I feel. I didn't feel like it was inauthentic, but I just felt like something was so weirdly casual, and people of their level of fame to be at that magnitude, if they're newly dating people, the goal of said really famous couple is to keep things as under wraps, to keep them as sacred as possible so that they don't have to add extra pressure to their already new dynamic with introducing the public into being able to chirp about it. Brilliant. Do you see how that made sense? I really explained like the back end deal of all these celebrity couples. That's usually what happens. If you're really in something with somebody new who's equally as famous or more famous than you try to keep it close to the vest. We haven't even seen George Clooney's children, and they're like 12 at this point. I just feel like cute for them. He's into older women. By the way, she's 36. She's by no means an old woman, but she's an older woman than him. He's 26. I like them, but I'm just like, you just served that up and I wasn't ready. You know? There was no lube. It just happened. We tried to get a growth scan, and it was, she looked like mashed potatoes. Here's the thing. These 3 months are the only 3 months that I'm going to really have off. I am completely ready to embrace, like, I'm going to take my hair extensions out, right? I am. And I have 2 strands of hair left, so I think it's probably a good time to just take that break. But I'm really fully ready to commit to like adult diapering or padding, ugly underwear, swelling, crying. I think you just need to fully go into that mode. And then once you're kind of on a little bit more of a schedule, 2.5 months later, and things are like not so crazy and you're not like completely out of your mind, then you can start to incorporate looking pretty again. But to pretend that you're going to be this person that's like glamorous in the hospital, and I'm pretty glamorous, and I'm not going to put that pressure on myself. My mother was like, I have never ever seen a woman not change in the face. Susan just can't believe that my face hasn't changed because she just thinks everyone pregnant's face changes, which I guess everyone's face does change a little bit. My face has really not changed. It's definitely filled out, and I'm definitely a little less tired. She's so excited about having a grandkid. I mean, she said, we're so fortunate that we're having a grandkid because a few years ago, we didn't really know what was going to happen with you. That was last week. Oh, I think I got a kick out of that. I think push presents are a newer fad. I think they're like a decade old, maybe 2 decades old. Let's just go back to Susan. She's like, we didn't have this growing. I'm like, you are a different person than me. But I think, yes, I think a woman deserves a push present. And it doesn't need to be a materialistic push present. It could be a handwritten note. It could be a photograph. Everyone's up in arms over Gucci Mane giving her $1 million cash. Listen, I'm all about cash. I'm all about, having your independence with your money. For me personally, I don't think I would want that. I would really want something that was a little bit more personal. I guess I'm interested in like a really fine piece of jewelry, maybe like an emerald something, because that's my birthstone, because I'm pushing out like, 7 pounds, shoulders, head, like legs and stuff. And then I'm going to get like a squirt bottle to like hose me down. And then I'm going to have to deliver like placenta. And then I'm going to have to like get potentially like really stitched up. And then I'm going to have to wear an adult diaper. And then I'm going to have to put on like hemorrhoid cream. And like, I'm going to go through a lot. I think your partner should recognize what you have to go through. At the end of the day, we really do have to change a lot physically. Jordan's Pelotoning every day, losing weight. And you know what he's doing right now? Having sugar fish. He sneaks it.
He eats it out back. Oh, I can't wait to have sushi. I cannot wait. It's going to be my first meal to the hospital. And then I'm going to have mounds of lox and I'm going to eat it raw. And then I'm going to have mounds of prosciutto and then mounds of salami. Because all the things that I've wanted to eat, I can't eat.
My baby shower was lovely, I have to say. I mean, I don't even know if that's what you call it. I mean, I guess that's what you call it because it was obviously a very festive lunch. There was a lot of beautiful flowers. I had a taco. I had 2 tacos, and then I had a churro, and I had a little whipped cream with a little chocolate sauce. I have basically picked up and put down the idea of having a baby shower like 3 different times. And at the beginning of December, I was like, let's do it. 25 people, everyone will be tested. Let's just be bougie about this. Like, I really want to celebrate it. You never get this time back. It's my first baby. The second baby is like, you know, first baby, like blah, 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 and then you get loves, right? What's the saying? Like, you just don't care about the second baby as much. Like, she can like eat the Lego in the corner. The first baby, you're like, oh my God, she might be like the Pope one day or whatever. I just wonder when I come back from maternity leave, if I'm ever going to look back at this footage and be like, oh, that was your hair the whole time. First of all, welcome to Necessary Realness. I have talked about Sex and the City a lot this week, but I don't care because I have so many thoughts about what's happening. So Sex and the City is coming back. It's being revived on HBO Max. It's called And Just Like That. I have a problem with that. Now, obviously, iconic show. We knew around the second movie that there were issues with Kim Cattrall. And like, I guess she's talked about like the feud in the past and has basically said like the women have made a point to exclude her. There's always drama. Really quick disclaimer, everyone at home. I'm having some work done outside, so I can't get rid of the noise because they're busting through sheetrock. But I can't stop them. We have permits for certain times. The one thing that I've always remembered, you know how you hear like random things that people say and like just random stuff sticks with you? And something that has always stuck with me is when Sarah Jessica Parker literally said in an interview when Sex and the City was ending, it ended at the top of the game. Everyone was like, why is this ending? We aren't done yet. We don't want this to happen. She pulled a Seinfeld 6 seasons in and was like, you never want to be the last to leave the party. And I heard that. I carried that quote with me through all of my 20s. Every time I was like, I was on a good one at a nightclub, I wanted to stay out and get real sloppy. I'm like, bitch, you need to get out of here before those lights go on. To now bring it back with a completely different format and not with the original cast and naming it something else, it just completely takes away the power of what she said all those years ago. And I just feel like, don't do it. Because if this is not excellent, this is going to tarnish the legacy of such an iconic show. Come on, what do we like? I don't know. Or I need to know, and I've said this too, why do you hate each other? And I want to see if you're navigating friendships in your 50s, I need to know that you and Samantha and the other ladies have had a falling out because she slept with one of your husbands. I want to know went south. That's realistic. Andre Leon Talley being the face of Uggs is the most fabulous thing I've ever heard. For anyone that was unclear, this is not a resurgence of Uggs. I have been rocking Uggs from 14 to now. I love them. I have no shame. I have the camel. I have the light beige. I wear the slippers. I wear them all the time with a chunky sock. I think they're adorable. I've never abandoned Uggs, ever. I've always loved them. The latest trend in Ugg fashion, it started with the tall boot, it went to the mid-calf boot, and then it went to slippers. Now it is the mini Ugg boot, almost slipper style. I'm obsessed with them. So cute. That's gonna be my hospital slipper. Hailey Bieber is doing it. Kendall Jenner is doing it. Jasmine Tooks is doing it. Emily Ratajkowski is doing it. I mean, this is the new way to rock your Uggs. Uggs are here to stay, and the fact that they got Andre Leon Talley, I have to say, I love when people pull off good marketing. You know, I'm rewatching Mad Men. It's all about advertising. All the 60s was so it with the advertising. You know who was also in advertising was Darren from Bewitched. When Uggs first burst onto the scene, everyone was obsessed with them. Then they had a bad fall because everyone turned their back on everything. When everything blows up and people are obsessed with something, people turn on you so quick. You know, when you just explode so much, so quickly, does that spark keep lit? I don't think that's how that works. You know, I think you gotta just, you know, like I still am struggling with having brushed hair. And at this far into my glow up, I shouldn't have that problem. I think Uggs are a West Coast thing, but I also think they're actually very much an East Coast thing. I think on the East Coast, they're more practical, whereas in the West Coast, they're just more comfortable and people are more casual altogether, so they just throw them on. It's bi-coastal. The war that's erupting on the side chat about if Uggs are Snoop Dogg and Dre or if they are Diddy and Biggie. I think everyone's wearing Uggs. I really do. Welcome to my very last Necessary Realness before I take my maternity leave. It's a very bittersweet episode today. It's like kind of surreal, I have to say. You never think about the day that you're actually going to have to tell people, like, I will be down for a little bit because I'm going to have a human being come out of me successfully, that I'm going to have to push out 6.5 to 7 pounds just coming out of the hole that stuff originally went into. I shouldn't say that. So obviously we're not going to be too sappy about this separation. I don't like goodbyes. I just do a quick text me later. So we're just going to leave it on a text me later. I'll see you in a few weeks. Vanessa, let's virtual hug, huh? We're obviously going to talk about Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas. They have split up. I don't know why anybody is shocked by this relationship ending. I'm all about people needing to lead their normal lives if they are famous. I understand that Ben Affleck has a dog. I understand they're dog people. I love dog people. I'm a huge dog person. I understand they need to walk their dog, but they also are extremely famous and they don't want to be hounded by the paparazzi. They loved going on those walks and getting those photos taken. I always thought that their relationship was going to be exactly what it ended up being. Dating for 10-ish months, I felt like she was at a really good age to date somebody in her career that was as A-list as Ben. I think they had hot, fun sex. I think she's super hot. She was super hot in that movie she did with those boys. Embargo dogs, war dogs. What was it called? Was it war dogs? Yes, war dogs. I remember her from war dogs. Super hot. I think it was perfect for her to date an A-list. I think she got a lot of benefits out of that. I think they had a good time. We all saw the other movie that I can't remember because I'm so pregnant, where we saw his penis. What was that movie called? Where the girl goes missing. Come on, girl. Oh, this is going to be a good time to go on leave for me. Of course they were not going to get married. Of course they were not going to have children. Ben has 3 children. He was married to Jennifer Garner. He just wants to have fun and have a nice lady in his life, enjoy himself. He's done the diapers. He's done all of the things. He doesn't want to go back there. And Anna's starting out her life and maybe wants children or maybe doesn't, but that was never going to be a long-term solution for those two. I have to say, I've already said this, but it's extremely disrespectful for that man to have a cardboard cutout of his lady, to have somebody throw that out, not bend it, not tape it, not be discreet about it. Genuinely disrespectful. I'm sorry. You're better than that, Ben Affleck. Ben, we love you. We always have. You're offensively hot. It never changes. But the cardboard cutout of your girlfriend that you broke up with in the last week should not be thrown out in front of people. There's a discreet way to do that. I stand by that. That has to go in the episode. Agreed. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about, obviously Dwayne Wade, he has turned 39. He is all the way fine. Good for Gabrielle Union. I love them. He is posting thirsty traps on his 39th birthday. We are getting strategically naked him. Things are, showing but not showing. I have a good imagination. I'm sure things are looking good for him. And his kids, though, not having it. They are in the comments. This is not what they want to wake up to. There was an AO, no thank you. That's when you know really crossed the line. Even Kavia James, 2-year-old Kavia James, got in on the photo commenting, and she said, I thought I had a little bit more time for your midlife crisis, which on the witty scale, I'm giving that a 9. Overall, I really do love them. I love Gabrielle Union. She's beautiful and fun and strong and smart and knows what she's doing. He's funny. I like them together. They seem like a solid group of people, solid family, and I'm into it. And they've also been together for a long time. It's kind of nice when you kind of all of a sudden realize, I've been talking about this couple. They're obviously very famous. They both are successful. But then you're like, wait, you guys have been together for many, many years. So you've gone through some. At the end of the day, you realize that your parents are human beings. Usually it happens later, but it's better to just be accepting of them and be embarrassed. And as long as they're there for you, let them live their life. But I do think I'm going to turn into the mom. Look what I'm wearing. I'm already not doing hot girl. On that note, we are going to be concluding our Necessary Realness, our last one before I will not see you guys for a while. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for the continued support. I am genuinely going to miss you guys. It's going to be very challenging for me to really like not have anything to film all day long. At some point, I will say hello. It'll be like a self-produced video and it'll just be like a quick, like, I'm still here. Miss you guys so much. See you soon. Hello and welcome to a very special maternity edition of Necessary Realness. I told everybody I was going to be checking in. I was like, Jesus Christ, I have not seen a camera in a long time. So it is the perfect day for me to sit down and check in with all of you, let you know how everything's going. By the way, as you can see, we're doing fine. We're doing okay. I haven't talked to anybody in a month. I'm so excited to do this. Okay, so I will bring you back to 1 month ago to the day and give you guys my entire birth story. So I was due February 14th, as you all know. I wanted her to be born either on her due date or I wanted her to be born after the 15th because I felt like the 15th was too depressing. It was very walk of shame. You know what I mean? Because it's after Valentine's Day and like, what if she doesn't have a date 1 year? Like everyone's hungover after Valentine's. It's just like not the day I want her anymore. So I was like, we're not doing that. So we decided that we were going to start induction on the 15th and we went in, they put a lovely little pill up inside my cervix. Then middle of the night on the 15th, mama started to get some contractions, started to not feel so good. Didn't feel good. Those aren't fun. Those are not fun. People who don't do this with medication, I have no clue how you did it. Then I got the epidural at the right time because it was at the point where it was like very painful, but like had I waited any longer, it would have been really unbearable. And I'm not a trooper. I didn't want to pretend. And then they wanted to put a Foley balloon in to help like break your water and like expand your cervix. Water breaks in the middle of the nurse putting the Foley balloon in. Water erupts onto this woman. I have to buy her a diamond ring. I mean, when I tell you that this woman and the nurse on the side of her had to put this inside of me and there was an eruption of water. And she was like, was that the balloon? I was like, pretty sure that is me. There was an entire puddle on the floor. Whatever. We sleep at the hospital. Jordan sleeps at the hospital with me. There's really no bed for the dads. I'm sorry. Like they need to really be upgrading those things. Like who knows how long you're going to be in labor? And like, I mean, I know that we're pushing out humans, but like dad could get a pillow. So I wake up the next morning, I'm 3 centimeters dilated at 6 a.m. I stayed at 4 centimeters dilated for 9 hours. Also, Ro is now, she is facing downward, but her face is upward. And when the baby comes out, the baby has to be facing downward. I had to switch positions every 35 minutes with a giant balloon in between my legs. I had to lay flat on my stomach with my big belly, boobs flat down with the balloon in between my legs with my legs wrapped around the balloon. Internal catheter. By the way, I had 2 bags of pee on the side of me. Okay. Gatorade yellow. I mean, I literally looked down like he's leaving me after this kid comes. I mean, it was 8 o'clock came. I was 8 centimeters and then I was 30 minutes later, 9 centimeters. And then it was like go time, 10 centimeters, did a couple practice pushes. We put a playlist in, 35 minutes of pushing. She was out into the world. They put her on my chest. I bawled, don't tell anyone. I just remember feeling like she was so small and like, whatever. I was staring at her. I was so overwhelmed. So yeah. It was great. I still can't even believe, like, when like she wakes up, I'm like, you're here, like you live here now, like it's crazy. And I have to say, we've really settled in so nicely. I honestly, when I'm with her, I'm just, the love grows every single day more and more to a place where that's what everyone says. Like you cannot express the amount of pure emotion you feel towards something. You've never loved anything like this because even if like they hug you and they're sweet or you're in a bad mood, and obviously I obsess over the stupidest for 7 hours and have 12 conversations with people about the same thing. And then I hold Ro and I'm like, I'm so grateful that part of my brain has not penetrated that part with her. When we were in the hospital for the first 2 days, the nurses came in every 2 hours and they're like, well, did you feed her? I don't know. What do you mean? I've never had a child. You tell me if I feed her. Like how do I feed her? She chomped on my nipples. They looked like they were in a gang fight. They were so bloody and so cracked. Oh, and then I got a little bit mastitis, the start of mastitis. Hold on. How do you pronounce it? Is it mastitis? Mastitis? What is it? Say it back to me.
Mastitis.
Mastitis. Thank you. What we've learned in this whole thing is Jordan's a lot smarter than I am. And it's like weird because like I'm so quick, but he is much more. He like Googles everything, knows everything, reads things. And I'm just like, I don't get it. What is that? And then Jordan they have their own thing. He is so devoted and so adorable with her. I have to say she's got the bluest eyes and the darkest hair. So she looks not a thing like me. And the way Susan likes to put it is, I think she has the shape of your head. And I'm like, what the is that doing? Oh my God. Susan, I have not seen my mother as happy as I have in the last month. She is obsessed with Ro. First of all, she goes, I can't believe you have such a cute baby. Morgan, I'm serious. I did not think you could make such a cute baby. You were not so cute, literally. I'm like, you just say that because she's your granddaughter. She's like, no, I know, I can tell. She's gonna be a stunner, that one. I'm like, why are you screaming at everybody all the time about this baby? But she loves her and is so happy. She comes over every few days, but it's like, we do not have like an influx of people coming through. Ro needs to sleep more than she needs to meet people. You know what I mean? Like it's on Ro's schedule. We're on Ro's schedule completely. You guys, I miss you so much. This was so much fun. I feel like myself again, I have to say. I will be back early May. I will keep you updated on all of the things. That's all. I will see you later. This is real. This is not an illusion. It is I am in the flesh. We are in an actual studio. There are real live lights. There's a microphone. I'm mic'd. Things are happening. I have a lash on. Things are going well. We have resumed Necessary Realness. I have to say, I'm very excited to be doing this. I feel like I'm in my sweet spot. Back to drinking water out of these cups. That's a dark, dark story. Okay, let's talk about Rockstar wags. Let me guess. Let's just see how well I know you. Are we gonna start with Kourtney Kardashian? Of course we're gonna start with Kourtney Kardashian. That's how well I know everybody. Kourtney Kardashian, new wag, new Rockstar wag, Travis Barker. I'm here for it. First of all, I feel like Kourtney and Travis, you feel the lust between them. You feel they're very happy. I feel like this is the best place Kourtney has been in for years. And I also feel like I heard about Travis and Kourtney for years, like just whispers, not necessarily romantic rumors, but just that they were in the same circle. He was always around. They were always friends. And I was like, I don't know, there was just something about it that sort of worked. And she's sort of like laid back, you know, with her monotone voice. Like, I just think it works. So I'm happy that they have found one another. Here's the thing about Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. I'm here for them. I just don't understand how Megan Fox has maintained that hot. Like, I literally had one baby and like I can barely keep my face together. And somehow that face, those eyes are bluer than ever and that stomach is flatter than ever. The hair is long. She's like iconic, Megan Fox. She wasn't really in the public eye for a little bit and like now you're reminded by how fabulous she is. Of course I've seen Machine Gun Kelly and Travis. First of all, Machine Gun Kelly and Travis have been working together for many years and now Megan and Kourtney, friends. Jet black hair, long. I'm into the group. I love a convenient friend group. When everyone's on the same page, everybody likes each other. There's nothing better. It's hard to find friends. I'm confused by the Addison Rae edition. I'm surprised that Addison has lasted as long as she has with Kourtney. Because does she fit into this new mold of Kourtney's sort of like rock? You know what I mean? But I like Addison. I mean, she's fascinating on that TikTok. You could watch her for hours. She's just dancing and shaking and moving up and down. And I'm like, God, I barely could like dial someone's phone number when I was that age. Lil Huddy and Charli D'Amelio, couple. They got together in 2019. They made it official in 2020. She was just recently in his music video for America's Sweetheart. They kept it on the low for a little bit, but then they became public and official. By the way, just want to clarify, we're not 100% sure that they're an actual couple right now. They might be. Oh. I'm about these two. I come across them on TikTok. Here's the thing about me and TikTok. I'm on TikTok and I scroll. I don't participate in the tick of the talks. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have anything to add to TikTok, which I'm fine with. My husband's into it and I'm kind of like, don't be into it. But anyway, he likes it. But yeah, I think that they're cute. I like him. He's so on trend right now, right? He's just everything the kids like. I feel like I'm dating a mini Travis Barker in a way. There's so many tattoos. And my husband's gonna go on tour in a month and a half. Can you believe that? I'll work that out on this show. I'm really excited. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. So I'm gonna be taking 2 weeks off at some point and I'm gonna go out there and visit him on tour. I'm gonna hub out of a big city. Do you know what I mean? So like I'll probably do New York for 2 weeks and then I can stay there and hang out with him and Ro and like do the dinner thing and then go to a few shows. Fabulous. So good for my Gemini mind. Keeps me moving. I'm not stuck in the same place. I'm not insular. It gets me out into the world. That people can see me. I'm all about being a wag. I like it. It's that kind of lifestyle for me is fun. It keeps things interesting, keeps things on the move. You know what I mean? I'm not like having cottage cheese at home every day and like wondering when am I gonna go to dinner, you know? The trends now of all of these wags, as you say, Rockstar wags, is a resurgence of the good old days. The Carmen and Dave Navarros, Pam and Tommy, and all the kids are gonna know about Pam and Tommy because Sebastian Stan and Lily James, bitch, she looks just like her. Have you seen footage? And Lenny and Lisa Bonet, which the generation now knows about because obviously they procreated and made Zoe. But I also am into Vince Neil. I loved all of like the bottle blondes, 80s, like rock star wives. Like that was a wild time. Like now everyone's like smoking a joint and it's legal and like they're having like tequila. It was a different time. Axl Rose and Stephanie Seymour, iconic short wedding dress. I cannot believe I did not wear that wedding dress to one of my weddings. I just want to say that I am back. I'm very excited to be back. I feel that things are complete. I feel like I did my time. I had that baby. We love her. And I'm excited to be back at work and having fun with Necessary Realness. You guys, welcome to a very special edition of Necessary Realness. I feel like I say that every single Necessary Realness that we do, but they're all extremely special to me as this is my favorite piece of content that I film, true or false.
True.
And I have a very special guest joining me today. I begged him, I pleaded, I said, please do this because I really need you to set up the ring light.
It's baby throw up.
My husband, Jordan McGraw. Say hi. Oh, the famous person voice is going to come out.
She hates the wave.
What's up, guys? Hey, guys. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? How are you guys doing out there?
I just have to project on stage.
It's just hilarious. It just comes. It's such a specific tone. I asked him to come on, talk about all things music because he's got a lot of stuff coming up. What's the next song called?
It's called She.
So first song is Her.
Yep.
I keep chasing her, 'cause I know you know me better than I know myself. I'm asking you for help.
Catchy, catchy, catchy. Download that. Her was out, what, a few weeks ago now?
No, it's like a month ago.
Was it a month ago?
What?
I'm just going to with them the whole time. I'm sorry. We did a video for your new song called She.
Yeah, not confusing at all. Her, then she.
Her about me, she.
Totally about you.
Totally about me, obviously.
The video, I convinced her to be in it.
I want everyone to know this is Necessary Realness. I was very happy to be in the video in theory and support him. I had some issues, right? I was not feeling postpartum ready to do music video hot. Do you know what I mean? Like I've been TV, daytime TV hot and like borderline attractive for nightly pop, but video hot is a different category of hot.
I would argue, but there's no point in arguing.
This is exactly right.
We got to go on the Wheel of Fortune set, the real Wheel of Fortune set. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at Vanna White.
So I was Vanna, obviously. There was a lot of waving and pointing. And let me tell you something.
A lot of letter turning.
A lot of letter turning. Vanna, not an easy job. It's not just a little light touch. You have to forcefully push on the right place. There were so many times I had to redo it because I couldn't get the T to show.
Every time you walked by you.
I was like literally like pounding the goddamn thing. Inspiration behind the video, it was amazing.
I wrote it in quarantine while we were quarantining together. Mm-hmm. And so you can probably guess how true the story is because it's about somebody getting in a fight with you in their dream and then waking up in real life and actually being mad at you for the entire day. Yeah. And then happening again and maybe again.
It was quarantine.
I have no responsibility for dreaming.
Yeah, I'm also somebody that dreams a lot, vividly. I talk in my sleep all the time from like the time I was like, in this.
It's like, what the are you doing? What time is it? I've been in bed the whole time. Okay, can you move the dog?
This is a hot debate. Also, you can comment below. You're going on tour.
Tour.
You guys are going on tour.
Yeah, we're going on tour.
No, tour is 2 words. Tour is tour.
It's 2 syllables. It's tour.
You guys are going on tour.
Tour. That's what you did to a piece of paper earlier. You tore it.
Tour is not right either, though. It's not.
I do it. It's tour.
Is there no one else here? Get the dinosaur. He can settle the debate. By the way,
you don't want to hear his opinion because it agrees with me.
He insisted on the dinosaur being here. And just to clarify, that's not Rose dinosaur. That is your dinosaur.
Of course.
That lives on our piano console. You're going on tour.
I am going on tour. You see, you said tour.
When are you going?
August 20th starts in Vegas.
Yeah.
Goes till October 28th.
It's going to be a long distance situation. I'm going to be traveling and you'll be coming home a lot.
You're going to love tour.
I know, I do love tour, but still it's a lot.
Yeah, with a baby.
And Ro is going to be coming to everything.
Yeah, I can't wait for the giant headphones.
The big giant, which we should get like in a light blue so it can match her eyes. Okay, tour. So you're going with the Jonas Brothers, obviously.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say obviously. For those of you who do not know.
Jonas Brothers, Kelsey Ballerini.
And you're going to be starting. So that's going to be a lot of dates.
It's a lot of dates. It's fun dates, though.
Fun dates.
Look the dates up. They're on my website.
And then I'm obviously going to hub out of the New York time of the tour. Whole new wardrobe, apartment. He has an apartment in New York that he was like, I'm getting rid of. And I was like, come again? No. Mm-mm. We're not getting rid of that. We are going to keep that because that is convenient for your work, for when you go on tour.
Yeah, only for me.
And you're going to be so busy, so I can take control of it. And it's going to be good for you to be able to be in that creative
She'll be like,
space.
no, we're just getting a new couch. And then I'll leave for like 8 hours and I'll come back and there will be new everything except the couch.
Yeah, probably. In other very important news, actually news that I was very much not for. I was very much not for this information.
She doesn't want any more tattoos, but I found a loophole. I'm going to get Rose's name tattooed, and then while I'm there, if he trips and falls on another part of my body with a tattoo gun, and I don't know, like,
that's fine. That's why when we have a whole new rug, a whole new setup in New York, it's totally fine too, because I just tripped and fell and then furniture arrived. So this is how you win in relationships and at life. Each person gets to do what the other person doesn't want, but the other person gets to still do that, right?
Totally. She's going on my wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a whole Alice in Wonderland thing, so she gets to be a part of that.
It's perfect because when we go to lunch and she needs to be entertained, you can just be her coloring book. She doesn't have to draw on the paper now. She can
She
just
thought
draw.
that would be like a dig,
color
and
in
I'm
on
like,
you.
yeah, that's awesome. But
what did your dad say about the hand tattoo?
that's a bad idea right there. But now he likes it. Well, you did a really good job curating that tattoo, the canvas that you got. You know, there's not a distasteful tattoo on you. And yeah, that was my initial concern, but now I won't forget how to spell her name.
Exactly. God, Ro, such a good name, by the way. Drop the comments below about how much you love Ro. You know what? I have to say, life has been very good. I have been a little bit more on the tired side, which means I'm a little bit more on the crank side, which means bath time's still kicking for Ro. She's having a great time, but I am definitely back in a place where I'm like 9 o'clock, gotta go to sleep. And like my husband, I was working during the pandemic, but we were home so much, so it was like a different vibe. And I was like wearing sweats all day and I didn't have to leave. But now to be back in full work mode, blessings on blessings, but exhausting on exhausting. I'm like a Mattel Barbie because my pants are so tight that I can't move. We have to talk about sex life, AKA sex/life, because if you really look at the title, there is a slash in it, so it's like sex/life. It's not sex life, it's about sex and about someone's life, which I thought was so clever. It's like a terrible, great show. Like you're on episode 8 and you're like, how did I get here? But I'm so hooked. Sort of like Bridgerton. So sex life, I've liked it. I think it's fun. I've only watched a few episodes, but like I get the gist. She's in a sexless marriage. She loves her husband. She signed up for the guy that was good on paper. She has 2 beautiful children. She's not totally unsatisfied by her life, but because there is a lack of connection, he's not paying as much attention to her as she would like. She's craving the old sex days. And I relate to the fact that, you know, I did watch an episode yesterday where she was like, you know, all of a sudden you become a completely different person one day because you have children, but like you love your children, you're fulfilled by your children, but I do think it's important to make sure you're maintaining some of who you are pre-child because that person doesn't disappear. And when you ignore that version of yourself, you end up in a situation where you're in the suburbs and you're like, how do I get back to the city, you know? Sarah Shahi, her and her co-star dating in real life, I feel like that is a tale as old as time. Like, you know, 2 insane, I mean, she's a hot woman. I do like their chemistry. I mean, it obviously makes for a good show. I think that they're great. I think he plays the perfect ex-boyfriend. You know what I mean? Reminds me of like 2007 when things were messy and I didn't know where I was. We are not yet confirmed on whether or not this guy's real. Have you seen that? It's an eyeful. It's an earful. It's a mouthful. It's a lot of full. Anything that penis is coming near is full. It is a lot. But I did hear between me and some other people that special effects did work on the prosthetics because the same people did it for Boogie Nights. And he's being coy about it. I mean, it could, I don't know. Bella Hadid, who the literal looks like Bella Hadid? Jumping, athletic, Hotel du Cap, jumping off that if I jumped off that diving board, my cellulite would be meeting me at the top and then sinking down with me. She looks beautiful. I'm not sure about Mark Kalman. That's how little of a life I have. I think he's probably an interesting guy. I think he's probably a cool guy. I get the sense that he's pretty laid back, and I don't think that Bella would really with somebody who's not cool, and she seems to be really into him. So I'm very happy for Bella. Let's talk about Angelina Jolie in The Weeknd. I'm all about Angelina having a good time with The Weeknd. I think it's like a childhood fantasy for The Weeknd to like be around Angelina. She was like everyone's like dream girl, circa Tomb Raider, Lara Croft. Like that was when every guy was like, oh man, Angelina. Also, he referenced her in a song. Remember that? I think there's some sneaky, bumpy happening between these two. Did I just say sneaky, bumpy? So The Weeknd has a new series on HBO coming out called The Idol, and some people are speculating that he's just going to Angelina for some acting advice. But I don't think that's the case. I think that they're enjoying acting sexual with one another's bits. I don't think The Weeknd is engaging in PR with Angelina Jolie without like wanting to see her naked. I think there's a mutual attraction and she's having fun, and like let's not forget she's had a rough few years. You know, we've only heard about Angelina in regards to her divorce and everything that she's had going on with Brad. Like, let's not forget who Angelina was. This was blood-carrying Billy Bob Thornton Angelina. Like, it's good for her to be out there with somebody fun and young and having a good time. We gotta talk about Devin and Kendall because obviously NBA Finals. Go Devin's team, Phoenix Suns. Look, I feel like for years and years and years, we heard so much low-key about Kendall and her relationships. I feel like she's really found somebody she loves within Devin. I think they have a really good relationship. I think she came out when it was strong enough and successful enough. They've been doing their thing, obviously, for a year. I'm all about this side of Kendall. I think she's happy. I think she found her man. He's a good basketball player. No third string there. Is that the right reference for basketball? So I'm happy for her. I'm very excited for her, and she looks better than she ever has, and like cute. Maybe they'll get married. This is when I know my mom's a down-ass bitch. My parents came over for dinner. We had a little bit of an evening, which was fun. I poured Susan a large glass of tequila because I thought that was gonna be the cocktail of choice. And then somewhere along dinner, someone said, oh, Susie, I think we should switch to wine. And then that bitch couldn't leave my house for 6 hours because she was so wasted she couldn't stand up again. I was like, what is going on? She was like, how did I get so drunk, Herbert? Okay, we have to talk about Normani's new video, Wild Side. I watched it a few days ago, and I have to say, the singing and the dancing, she did an incredible job. And it just made me feel nostalgic for like what music videos used to be. I feel like now people don't like, I feel like they're coming back, and I like to see that. I am a huge music video fan. I've always been very into them. I feel like behind the video, behind the music video, behind the video, pop-up video, all the videos, making of the video, behind making of the, what was it called? Making of the, behind the, me, yeah. Making the video. That was like when we got Slave for You. That's when we got all the NSYNC videos. Like we got to go behind the scenes, which now being in this world, knowing how much work that was to film that on top of doing a 3-day video shoot, kudos to them. I like the song, and I feel like this is like a big moment for Normani, but I want her to stay in this moment, right? Like I feel like she keeps popping out and then she goes away and she pops out, and I need her to like keep giving us videos and songs like this for a long time so she like sails off into Beyonce land. I do feel like she paid homage to Aaliyah. I do see that. I felt a lot of Aaliyah. It sounded like Aaliyah. I feel like she was obviously an idol of hers growing up. I feel like anytime anybody can pay homage to Aaliyah, they do. And I thought the whole thing was done very well. I got a lot of TLC. Actually, that was one thing I was gonna say. I felt like it was a little Janet Jackson vibe in the black. Like I feel like she was getting really Rhythm Nation with it at one point. The whole thing was great. I like the different concepts. It's always really interesting to see a video so well done because somebody came up with that. Like someone thought about that and brought that to life. Like I barely can figure out what I want to eat for lunch. Where'd you get good chicken salad? All I think about is chicken salad and egg salad. Just put that in the video. And I don't know where to get it. I am pleading with you. I need a chicken salad that has apples, not celery. And I need an egg salad. I don't want celery in my egg salad. Please comment below on where I should get good chicken salad with apples and good egg salad. Or if you have good recipes, or your mom makes it, or your aunt makes it, send it here and I'll have someone taste test it to make sure there's not poison in it, and then I will eat it. Video was visually extremely appealing. I loved all of the different looks. I loved all of the different fashions. There was so much color. The barely there, like Aphrodite, like booby covering. It almost looked like the girl from Varsity Blues when she put the whipped cream titties on. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so she took inspiration from Deborah Paget. Indian Tomb. I loved the black outfit. I loved like the white sheer outfit. Oh my God, I loved the leopard. I love the leopard, but I feel like we've seen the leopard. Like a lot of different girls have done leopard, but I really like the leopard. I think the sheer white was probably my favorite. I thought that that was really ethereal and really beautiful. Cardi B and her body's out of control. If you want a hot song, you have to call Cardi B and she'll appear. Cardi shows up for her girls. She's not too cool for school. She's not too big for her britches. Like she does what she says she's gonna do. And I think that her being on a song definitely makes a difference. Normani was in the WAP video. See, I like this. Community of women supporting each other, showing up to each other's videos, looking good. A lot of glam time for those two girls. A lot of glam. It's a lot of different looks that girl put on. That's a long day of shooting. I don't think people realize what goes into a video like that. A lot, and probably at 4 a.m. I wonder if she was in a good mood. I always wonder if people keep it positive during these videos. And like, what are they eating? Are they eating? Are they having like water with straws? For sure. Are they breaking for lunch? Breaking for lunch when you're in a momentum is the worst thing to do. Like doing 12 dance breaks, break for lunch for an hour for crew. It's like, you're like, let's keep going, you know? So I wonder how she keeps up her energy during that time. Oh my God. My vacation was glorious. It was wonderful. It was so hot. I had to explain to Susan that her straw was paper every day because she kept trying to stir her margarita with it. I'm like, your straw is disintegrating. It's driving me crazy. She goes, don't leave me alone. Do your own thing. By the way, I forgot, like, I'm now a mom, so I'm on a mom trip with my baby, putting sunscreen on her. By the way, can we talk about it? Ro, natural swimmer. We put her in the pool for a little, started to paddle. Brilliant. Hitting those developmental milestones so quick. Not like me. I was very slow. Barely walked it a year. But then my mom told me to put sunscreen on like 8 times. I'm like, you can't come if you're gonna do things like that. Zoom in on my goosebumps in this studio right now. I need the people to see what I endure to do this show. Everybody's in Europe. It's crazy. I thought people were gonna maybe take it slow this summer. I was actually gonna go to Europe and then we vetoed that plan. So for JLo's birthday, her and Ben went to Saint-Tropez, all over the place. They went to Capri. They were recreating the yacht photos that we all loved from 20 years ago. The people are here for JLo and Ben. I mean, she's wearing the diamond tennis bracelet, the yellow diamond tennis bracelet that he got her. He's wearing a watch that he was wearing 20 years ago. So I definitely feel like they're both very nostalgic for their relationship. I wonder who reached out to who. Those were sort of the glory days, right? That was a massive power couple when like power couples like that existed. Now it's like TikTok stars that are dancing next to each other. Anyway, moving on. I think they're gonna date for a little bit longer. I think she's obviously relocating to LA. She's looking at real estate, which I'm happy. I knew Miami wasn't gonna be long-term for her. I see them traveling a lot more. Apparently I'm a psychic now. I don't think they're gonna be as on display as her and A-Rod. Like, I don't think he's gonna be like selfieing her down the carpet. Like, A-Rod loved to bust that move, and I was like, okay. We get it. I don't think they're gonna move in together for a while. I don't know, like, I wanna be as nostalgic as everybody else is, and of course, like, I am the living, breathing embodiment of what JLo and Ben are going through, because obviously they dated 100 years ago and they have gotten back together. I did that with my husband now, as everybody knows, but for some reason, I don't know what it is about these two being together now that I'm like, okay, cool. I feel like they dated 20 years ago. I think they're back together. I think they're really happy. Do I think that they're going to be together for the rest of their lives and potentially get married? I hate to say no because I'm not hating. I'm not a hater, but there's something about them that, like, I don't know, I really preferred the original JLo and Ben. I do think this. I think JLo has never been more in love with anybody other than Ben Affleck. I don't think she's gonna reuse that engagement ring. No way. Bad juju. By the way, that was a broken up engagement. Comment. I would like to know everyone's opinion. I'm not sure I feel that this is a forever. Do you think they're gonna be together forever? Do you? Just be together and be happy. Why are you wearing a watch from 20 years ago? So we can remember? Like, we'll be in the present. Be in your relationship now. That was one thing about me and Jordan. He always hated when I was like, remember. He's like, we're together now. We don't need to always talk about. In 5 years of me working here, I have never once slept through my alarm. And to be honest, I didn't even sleep through my alarm. My alarm did not go off, which maybe means I didn't set it because I fell asleep before setting it. Either way, so I woke up at 6:15, which is much later than my usual 5:30 a.m. wake up. I ran up and then I literally brushed my teeth, washed my face, did a little lotion, did a little under eye concealer because I'm not going to subject myself to no under eye concealer because I'm late. Do you see the difference in my mood with sleeping a little longer? No, I'm serious. You guys, we have to talk about Paris Hilton's new show, Cooking with Paris. Kim, Sweetie, Lele Pons, Nikki and Kathy Hilton. Like, she had a good cast show up. Man! Okay. I love seeing Kim and Paris together just because they've gone through so much. There's so much history there. They've known each other for years. And what I do also really love is, like, Kim will show up for Paris no matter what. So I appreciate that girl power. I appreciate that she supports her. I thought it was really funny when they were messing with the marshmallows. I like that. What I do love is that Paris prepares things the day before. What I also liked was how over the top the tablescapes were and how fun they tried to make everything. Very campy and very Paris. I loved Paris in the pink Barbie dress at the market. I thought that was really, really fun. I loved the bedazzled cookbook. I loved her sliving gloves. I love that she didn't know what tongs were. What's a tong? What's a tong? What's a tong? You know what I love about Paris? She commits to a bit. Sliving all day. Sliving gloves, sliving marshmallows, sliving milk. Everything is sliving. Sliving is sliving on. Sliving means slay plus living your best life. A la sliving. And this was very reminiscent of the Paris Hilton that people love from Simple Life. Like, they want this Paris back. When Paris did a steak night with Mama Hilton, Kathy, and then Nikki, they obviously did it Hilton style, so they had caviar, and they had gold gilded onion rings, and they did truffle butter steak. It was a whole affair. Very appropriate. I love Kathy Hilton. I had a moment with Kathy Hilton about 5 years, maybe even longer, probably 6 years ago now, at Kyle Richards' store. And she came up to me and she said, hi, we introduced ourselves briefly. And she said, you know, I saw you from across the room, and I said, that girl has nice style. And I will never forget it. What I love about her is she is so fun, out to lunch in the best way, and not pretentious at all. I feel like cooking shows are really a thing of the moment right now. They're really going through a trend. Selena Gomez has a cooking show. Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg have a cooking show. Amy Schumer has a cooking show. I feel like I would be a guest on my husband's cooking show. He loves to cook. He's really good at it. He's the cook in the family, thank God. I got into with my husband yesterday is he will get fast food and wait till he gets home to eat it. What the serial killer waits to get home to? Do you wait to eat your fast food on the way home? Nobody does that. I literally, the first date we went on, I was like, you're not eating? He's like, we're not home yet. What the fast and food now in the car. I texted him, I said, hey, do you want a burger? He goes, yes, done. Get him a burger. I brought him his bag yesterday. He's like, you didn't wait for me? Are you nuts? No, I ate it up under the canyon. And I dropped a tomato that's still on the side of my seat. Haven't found it. I've been talking a lot about food. It's weird. Let's talk about Rihanna joining the Billionaires Club. 33 years old, $1.7 because of Fenty Beauty and Savage by Fenty. I mean, literally a lingerie brand and a makeup line has accumulated $1.7 billion because she was on the pulse. She knew what was going on. Her makeup line has a gazillion shades. It accommodates every person in the world. She was one of the first to embrace all sorts of different body types in sexy lingerie. It wasn't just sort of like, we're offering this in your size. Hope you like it. There's not one person that does not like Rihanna. Who have you ever met that's like, she's not for me? She's a fashion icon, she's a brilliant businesswoman, and I'm very happy for her. I'm into her with ASAP. You know those two. Having a good time together. And I love that they're together. I feel like that was a long time coming. And also, she was dating the billionaire for a long time. Remember that guy that we saw like 3 photos of? So now she's her own billionaire. Yeah, I like the pillow moving with me. So Rihanna has obviously joined the generation of billionaires. Kanye, Kim, Jay-Z, Kylie. I mean, these are a lot of highly successful people, extremely young people that are just like reaching that billionaire threshold. And in fact, the stuffy old white men that are making billions, none of us love them. We don't love them like we love Rihanna or Kylie. But then Jeff Bezos, it's like, how many things have you ordered from Amazon this week alone? I know, it's scary, huh? When those packages come with that little smile, you're addicted to them. They're like nicotine. So...
Picture of her in the bed eating caviar. Have you seen that?
Yeah, what do you mean have I seen that? I work at E! I've been talking about this for 2 weeks. Leave that in. Those things need to be left in. You can phrase it, have I seen this photo? Yes, I've seen the photo of Rihanna eating caviar in bed. I think it was a very subtle flex. Caviar is good. You know, but I will say caviar, the bellinis on caviar, when you have caviar and bellinis, they always get soggy, so it's best to do it on a potato chip. Just a little tip. In your wildest dreams, you want to look as cool as Rihanna, and for some reason, the outfit she's wearing is not even that unattainable, and you could actually, dare I say, get it for a look for less. You could get that tweed jacket from Zara, you could find a vintage pair of jeans from a swap meet that definitely has the best jeans, wear pearls that are faux, get that hat from someone, and for some reason, you're never gonna do that, because you're not gonna think about that outfit the way Rihanna has. That is why she is a megastar, and the rest of us are plebeian. Rihanna has been doing a lot of pearls lately. I kind of got into the pearls over Christmas because I got a pair. Another big trend Rihanna has been wearing is sort of the puffy, like 90s furry pink hat that was made famous by Pam Anderson. I think she wore it to the MTV Movie Awards. She wore that with Tommy when he wore nothing under the trench coat and he wore the beaded hat. A lot of those old references are coming back. She did the Harley Davidson handkerchief top, which is also not an easy look to pull off. And then she put vintage denim over track pants, which had holes in them. It's like, that takes a creative mind. Like, I wear jeans every day and I'm like, why is this so boring? And I'm actually not bad at clothes.
How many colors do you have this dress in?
I have this color in this dress in 2 colors, in the green and in the white. And you know what it is? It's easy. I have a very easy approach to fashion on television now. I really just want to put something on that's like short and like not too frilly. I realize high fashion on TV doesn't translate the way I want it to. Honk, honk. You know what I mean? Did you see it? Did you see that? I don't want to even say this. I feel like it's like if you say Beetlejuice 3 times, but my right eye has come back to twitching a bit and I'm extremely nervous about it. I have an eye twitch that I can't get rid of. I've taken magnesium. I have 1 cup of caffeine a day. I'm sleeping like 9 to 5:30 because I'm a frail flower. Nobody knew the pain I went through. It was constant, always on the show. It was like a nervous tick and it would always happen in the blink of an eye, no pun intended. Where I'd be like, did you see it? And you'd always miss, and I don't want that to happen again. I'm gonna sleep with tea bags on my face tonight. I'm probably gonna have to do some weird shit with balls. You know, my life's good. Kanye had his last listening party in Chicago on Thursday, and in the middle of the field, he did a replica of his childhood home.
When Kim walked out in that Balenciaga wedding dress and they recreated their vows, I was beside myself.
Kanye's my Gemini sister. I get him. I get his genius. I think he has a very specific eye, and it feels massive when Kanye does it. It feels like this is Kanye West. So this is Kanye's 10th studio album. We have waited weeks. There has been delays. Kanye has been living in a stadium/jail room cell. Weird, very minimal living. And Kanye is actually only one of the few artists that I am familiar with, like, his albums. Like, I listen to all of the songs on the album. They're always all good. And even though Drake, I know there's some beef, even though Drake is a massive rapper and I listen to Drake way more than I listen to Kanye, nobody has the appeal and the star power Kanye West has. They don't. It's a Gemini mind. This week, she posted on her Insta story that she was listening to his album in the car. You can support your man publicly, or ex-man, husband, baby daddy, whatever. Like, show up to his things, bring your kids. Obviously, they want to experience their dad and all of his greatness and glory. You don't need to videotape yourself in the car listening to his music. Like, that's what you do when it's your full-on man.
Did you just say videotape yourself?
Did I say videotape? I have a kid. I don't want to talk about it. Leave that in. It's fine. Videotape. I'm not saying they're getting back together, but I'm not sure these two are going to quit each other as easily as we thought. Libras and Geminis, they never really disconnect. They're so on the same wavelength. They think so similarly about everything. It really is kind of like that soulmate compatibility, whether you're together romantically or not. I just think Kim has been so used to being the mother of his child, his wife for a million years at this point. They've been partners for so long. Like, she is that bitch. That is her role. No one's ever going to take her spot, right? She's the mother of his children. I don't see Kanye running about and running amok with some other girl yet. Something about them does not feel over to me, and I was actually genuinely sort of sad when they were kind of apart for a while, but then I was really happy when she showed up to his first listening party in the leather outfit with Chloe. I just want to go on record and talk about Arena and Bradley. I want to go.
Yeah, you said Bradley.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Who's on my mind? Who's Bradley?
Cooper?
Oh, thank God. I was like, I'm turning into my father. What is that? My dad's like, I can't remember anything. I'm like, I have that now too, so don't even. I want to go on record to talk about I want to go on record and talk about Kanye West and Arena. They were in brands together. She used to model for Givenchy. She knows Ricardo. She's in that fashion world. I never got a romantic vibe off the two of them. We've never actually seen photos of them looking romantic. 3 twitches. Did you see it? First of all, I did not realize that it was Labor Day week, and I feel like Labor Day really sneaks up on us every single year, and then you're like, oh, I have Friday off. And not only do I have Friday off, I have Friday off, Saturday off, Sunday off. I'm not done. I have Monday off. The tingles I get in my body knowing that I don't have to work for 4 days makes me so excited. Hi. Wow. Don't edit that out.
Everybody is in Venice, Italy. Everybody is eating so much vongole on my timeline. I can't even handle it. It's my favorite pasta. And I have to say, I don't feel like I have a restaurant where I go to and think I'm gonna get the vongole because it's so good. And I love it. We obviously have to talk about Kravis. I mean, I feel like everybody is invested in this couple. They are all over Italy. They are on gondolas. They are making out on boats. They are getting ice cream together. I mean, she is dry humping, straddling. She's doing all the things. When was the last time we saw PDA from a couple like this? It's been a long time, and I really have to say, no bullshit. I'm so happy for Kourtney living her life. We have never seen her this happy. We have never seen her this free. We have never seen her this comfortable in her skin. I have to say, I think Kourtney and Travis are going to be together for a really long time. I don't see this couple parting ways. But the big drama is that Scott Disick allegedly, let the Lord be with you, DM'd Eunice, which is Kourtney's ex-boyfriend from like, whatever, 2 years ago now, pre-pandemic. So Scott was in his feelings saying, bro. And anytime a guy says bro, it's like, dude, stop. It's tape. I want to play with it. It makes me feel good. I found it here. Someone left it. You know I'm a 12-year-old. And it's gone. I know it's allegedly. We have not gotten any confirmed reports. I think Scott said this. And I think he was trying to reach out. He was trying to find somebody that also knows Kourtney intimately and like wanted to create this like little sort of like ex-gang so they could just like talk together, which I feel like is not that abnormal. I think people do that all the time. I don't think Scott has a right. I think Scott's always going to be in his feelings about Kourtney. I think they've had unresolved emotions for years. I don't think that this has been for the show. Kourtney has had to sit through a lot of Scott parading around with all these young, beautiful women. Shut the up, Scott, and sit down and let her be happy for a second. But I'm sure everyone's kind of like, oh, romantic and way too. Everyone's in Venice specifically because it's a Dolce & Gabbana show. And obviously, on top of that, the Venice Film Festival. Any sort of film festival, it's nostalgic for Europe. I love it. I love to see all the different fashions. I love to see all the really important people in film. It's just a fun time in the world. The one event that I kind of feel a little bit missed out on, which I feel like is kind of always the par of the course of having a job every day, is that you can't go to these things. But I was very excited to see all of the Dolce & Gabbana fashion shots from everybody. JLo giving us Cape Realness. That was the best JLo's looked in 20 years. She looked unbelievable. Helen Mirren, we bow down, queen of everything, unbelievable, looking so goddamn glamorous. The way she did it was so cool and classic and very Dolce, but just done her way. I thought it was very well executed. Doja Cat giving us Cinderella vibe. She's giving us drama. She's giving us volume. She's giving us couture. She's giving us sunglasses. I'm going to be honest. I don't love Normani's look. I didn't love that dress, but I love that everybody obviously was in Dolce and gave us real Dolce. And I like the big dramatic dresses because I feel like people haven't gotten dressed like that in so long. We really haven't had too many premieres and too much stuff. I'm happy everyone's bringing the drama. Not my favorite dress. So Lenny Klum obviously walked the show, which is Heidi Klum's daughter. Sean Combs' twins, Delilah Starr Combs and Jesse James Combs, walked in the show, and he was really excited about that. I loved it. I loved how the models arrived on the gondolas. I thought that was so, like, such a nod to Venice, Italy. I mean, if you're not traveling via gondola, why the are you there? Oh, I need to get a root canal. My bottom molar, and I think I have to get my wisdom teeth pulled out, too.
You have your wisdom teeth out?
No. Do you have your wisdom teeth? In your mouth?
No, out.
Do you have your wisdom teeth? No. When the did everyone decide to do this? Is this like a group?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, my dental progress is not the same. Do you have yours are out too? Well, I guess there's just room in my mouth, or has been for longer. I have a big mouth, as we know. So, yeah. We have to talk about the big splits this week. There's been so many, you guys. It's rocked Hollywood. Amelia and Scott Disick. I am not shocked that they broke up. Amelia Hamlin is 20? You break up with people at 20. 19, 20, 21, 22. You're the same age from 18 to 22. I think when you reach 23 to 26, it becomes a little bit more of a different game. But, like, obviously they broke up. Great. And then they'll probably sleep together 5 times and get back together next week for 2 more months and then break up again. This is what Amelia needs to be doing at this point in her life. What are we surprised about, guys? Look, I'm sure she was probably embarrassed by the message, but I also don't think the message was that bad in theory. Like, I think it's who he said it to made it very juvenile. I think the powers that be, aka Lisa Rinna, I think she had been manifesting for a long time that they don't stay together. But I personally don't feel as though she disliked it as much as she put on. I think everybody gave her a hard time. Her fellow housewives were like, he's so old, your daughter can't be with him. But like, here's the thing about Scott, and I know I told him to F off last week, and I got very defensive of Kourtney. Scott is charismatic, he's attractive, he's a nice guy for the most part. If I was Amelia, I would be like, Scott's hot, I'm down with Scott. The Kourtney thing is always gonna be, and I also think the situation with Scott, I don't even know if he necessarily wants to be with Kourtney, but he doesn't want Kourtney to be over him, and this is the first relationship and last relationship that she's fully moved on, and the difference, and this is why men always play this game, women deal with breakups when they happen. They contemplate, they reflect, they mourn, they feel the emotions. Men go off, don't want to have a conversation, never want to sit down again, don't give a and then a year later they're like, well, what happened? Well, I tried to talk to you for a year. You know, and then they're lost in outer space and spinning out of accent. Hell, am I wrong? Men do not deal with anything right away. No offense. Too close to home? What happened? What happened? Leave it in. No. See if I care.
What else? Let's see. Are you going to chew that? You still have time. Stop looking at your phone.
I need to eat. I need it. I'm starting to. Yes.
Put it behind the pillow for 2 seconds. It's crinkly.
Another big breakup, Kaylee Cuoco and Carl Cook. I love Kaylee. I've always loved Kaylee. I've loved her since the first show she did with Jason John Ritter, Baby Paloma. Before Big Bang Theory and before she was making Jen Aniston money on a sitcom, she was in 8 Simple Rules. Carl and Kaylee, I never thought that those two were gonna work. I don't feel like this guy, I think they both were like, hey, I like horses, so let's get married. I love breakup announcements because the publicist just really leans into, they love each other more than anything. They're perfect together. Nothing is wrong. They're obsessed with each other. But it just so happens that they're breaking up. It's like, why can't we just say, listen, Kaylee and Carl decided they're not happy together, but they want to be happy individually, so they're going to go their separate ways. Am I wrong? Kaylee has been recently filming with Pete Davidson, who's also recently single. I've seen the photos. They're friends, but I'm seeing... I don't know. I'm not out on this. I'm not out on these two. I don't know if it's going to be a long-term situation, but like I think there might be a little romance. Maybe a short romance. Maybe it'll be after set in a trailer romance a few times, if you know what I mean. I think, listen, people are, when you're filming a movie and you're on set with somebody who's very famous, very charismatic, it's an isolated incident, it's like people don't realize how quickly you fall in love or become enamored by somebody that maybe you wouldn't even normally like, but because of the circumstances so closed off, it's very easy. You start to like things you don't like. I think Pete's very charming and very sweet. I like Pete. Pete's and I'm eating. You have all heard the news. I am with child, second baby coming at ya. The start of every realness when you'd be like, what's going on? And I'd be like, well, not a whole lot I can talk about. You know what's going on. Doing a second nursery is going on. Lots of things are happening. Pushing out another human. Small stuff. So we're gonna do a Get Real with Morgan, which I'm very excited about. This is here from last week. Heather Lindsay says, was it planned or a total surprise? Well, first of all, I don't think a pregnancy is ever a total surprise, but in my case, it was pretty surprising considering like I had all those thyroid issues, but we also knew what we were doing, so it was both. Mandy B, what was your first reaction when you saw the positive test? I actually took a digital positive test, and there was no way we thought it was actually going to be positive, and I looked away for 1 split second after waiting for like the 4 minutes, and then I looked down and it said pregnant, and I was like, what the f? And then I took 28 more and they were all pregnant, and then my husband had to come in because he didn't believe me. How does Susan feel about baby number 2? I'm sure she's absolutely thrilled. You would be correct. She's, oh, this is how I would do it. Get it out of the way, be done. She loves it. Lori Priori, God, you guys, these names. Are you absolutely freaking out? It's only been 5 months after all. Well, actually, Roe is about to be 7 months, but I also am very fortunate, and I've always said I want to have babies really close together to get it done, because if I would have stopped down and waited 3 years, there's no I would have gone back on that pregnancy train. At least now, I get to black out, dump, be insane, not have to get double sets of toys. Ugh, the toys around. Ooh, kills me so much. what? I'm like, I just finished furnishing. It's so chic. Why is this mat here? Anyway, great mom. Christina Phillips says, is there anything that scares you about becoming a mom of 2 under 2? Everything? Isn't that everything? You know, I feel like I just have gotten a handle on Roe and then to go through a whole new newborn stage. But again, I'm happy to just get it all out, done. This is the last baby I'm having. We're doing it. DRR1024, will you do anything differently this time? I probably won't have a Coke every day. I really just love the Bernie bubbles, you know, out of the glass. When it like burns in your nose, it's just, oh my God. It really just makes me so happy. Happy. Lex7799, can you top the name Roe? Let me tell you, Lex, it's been difficult. Roe is a name in itself, and it's challenging. And we've gone through a lot of names, and it's not easy. Trista2686, what kind of symptoms are you experiencing, and does this pregnancy feel different than your first? You can't compare them. I was so sick with Roe, and it was constant. I had the worst migraines I had ever had in my life. I felt really... I can't even talk about it because I still remember. And this pregnancy, I had been sick a few times, but the nausea was so persistent, and people used to be like, well, I'm just nauseous and not throwing up. I'm like, that's fine. How can you feel nauseous and not throw up? I talk too much and I get nauseous. Brushing my teeth takes 40 minutes. I'm always gagging. Whatever, that's the answer. Let me tell you a little bit about my long weekend. I was supposed to, am I malfunctioning? My batteries need to be changed around this time because I've done so much. I've done the nice wife weekend thing where I've flown out, but not nearly as much. Like, he had been gone for the last 2 weeks. This was the first time I saw him, and now he's gonna be gone for 12 days, and I'm gonna meet him in New York. So nice of me. Our 2-week rule, you know, when famous people always say that. How does it work? Oh, we have a 2-week rule. That's why they pay me the medium bucks. Let's talk about the next generation of superstars. Ella M. Hoff, the stepdaughter of Kamala Harris, she stole Inauguration Day. She gave us Miu Miu, she gave us Brooklyn, she gave us reading glasses. I have to say, I noticed her before everybody started the hype on her, and I was very, very impressed with her. Because first of all, that was, in my opinion, one of the worst dressed inaugurations of all time. I didn't think anyone looked great. I know it's not a fashion show, but like everyone was in a different shade of eggplant. It wasn't my favorite. Ella came all the way through. And fun fact, and you're gonna be like, can I get a photo of the jacket? So I don't even know why I'm saying this, but I have a Miu Miu flannel jacket with all of the studs on it myself. And I was like, yes, bitch. You have a photo of that jacket. Meanwhile, I'm like breastfeeding, so I'm not doing that anymore, but you know what I mean. You're like, where's that jacket? So I'm just gonna send it to you when I get home. So after the inauguration, she signed with IMG Models, and she's blowing up all over Fashion Week. She walked for Balenciaga in Paris. Ella has said that she wants to be part of the change in the modeling world. She is cool, though. Another name that I'm sure all of you know and will probably know a lot more about is Natalia Bryant, 18-year-old daughter of Kobe Bryant. Recently admitted to USC, also signed with IMG. Natalia Bryant made her debut at the Met Gala, was on the cover of the September issue of Teen Vogue. This girl is killing it. She looked so good at the Met. I feel like she's really coming into her own. I feel like her father, no doubt about it, is looking down on her and is so proud. These young women doing all the things. Lourdes Leon, not breaking any news here. Of course, she's going to be a superstar. She is the offspring of one of the largest superstars that we will ever know. Madonna, doing modeling. She was just on the cover of September Vogue, the one with all the different models. We just saw her at the Met Gala. She's such a striking young woman. And it's so crazy because I have such vivid memories of Lourdes when she did the shoot with Madonna for, I think, Vanity Fair or Young, when she was in her diaper. Do you remember? And she had short, curly brown hair and she was like holding a lip pencil. I remember those images. It's crazy that now she's like grown into this like young woman. It goes by so fast. Next, we have to talk about Iris Law, 20 years old, Jude Law's daughter. She is about to break out. I just want to put this on record. I'm the first one to be saying this because I know there's some whispers around, but she hasn't fully broken out. She just shaved her head for a new role that she's going to be doing for the Sex Pistols show on Hulu. She's playing Sue, Catwoman, who's like an iconic 70s punk from the Sex Pistol days. This girl is what I like to call offensively beautiful. I mean, she is so stunning. No surprise, Jude being her father, Sadie Frost being her mother. Another fun fact about Iris, I like the name Iris. Kate Moss is also Iris's godmother. She is a beauty ambassador for Dior. I will say Dior is very on the pulse of like the young, hot, beautiful girl. They snag them up right away. I feel like this is all fitting. She's from British descent. I can't believe Sadie Frost has a 20-year-old daughter. I don't know why. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Another breakouts are Maud Apatow, who we love, obviously daughter of Judd Apatow and Leslie Mann. I wonder if these people hate that I say who their parents are. People are sensitive about that. But I love her. She was obviously in Knocked Up, This Is 40. She stars as Lexi Howard in Euphoria, which is finally returning for a second season, January 2022. I feel like we've waited for Euphoria for a very long time. She's been in a lot of things, I feel like, and I always say she does such a good job. She was in Ryan Murphy's Hollywood, I remember. She was great in that show. And she was just at the Venice Film Festival looking gorgeous, stunning. Listen, I think that you can get into the door potentially a little bit easier with a last name, but like if you don't have it and you don't have the work ethic, you do not stay. I do not care. You can get admitted to her, well, maybe a bad example nowadays. But people can help you. You can get meetings. That doesn't mean you're sticking around. You don't get to get by with no work. People don't deal with it. I don't care if you're the kid of Oprah. Oprah's may be different, but everyone else you have to take it seriously on some level. I am back. I had a hiatus. I took 3 weeks to myself, and I have to say the evolution and the growth, if I had taken that much time off 3 years ago, I would have been a wreck. I feel rejuvenated. I feel like I'm ready to care about fashion again. You know, the audience was like, when is this bitch gonna care? Why is she always in the same denim romper? I went to New York to be a support system for my husband, to have fun with Ro and like twirl around the city. A fan of mine, I should clarify, went to Jordan's show and held up a sign that said, I'm only here for Morgan and Ro. I felt like I was a smart girl. People are so nice. It's really when I get out into the world, I realize my impact. My postpartum hair growth is insane. What about this? Do you see these? I look like a 13-year-old boy. Let's talk about Squid Games, the show that everybody is watching but me, and I will say, to go one step further, Jordan did text me and say, I've started watching this show, Squid Games. I know you don't want to watch it, so I've started it without you, because we're obviously not living together at this... That sounds dramatic. We're not in the same place at the moment, so our TV watching schedules are off. So we weren't going to start something that we're going to want to watch together. That's so nice. That makes me sick. I just said that. Ugh. Squid Games is the #1 show in 90 countries, which is 90. Everybody's watching it but me. But you know what I am? A rebel. I'm a standalone. I'm an independent.
Just Squid Game.
It's Squid Game. I know. Squid Game. First of all, squids in general, sick. Smart animals. Or are those octopuses? Octopuses. But squids? Who wants the squid? I don't like octopus or squid. I'm a big scallop girl, though. I love clams. That's what I think it's about. Fish and sea animals. I think it's a lot of people escaping a pink jail that involves murder and blood on someone's face. And everyone has the same tracksuit on.
Here is the first game. You will be playing red light, green light.
People compete in children's games to win money, and if they don't win money, they die. If they don't win the game, they die. I know, that's exactly what I just said. It's about sea monsters and money.
They win 46 billion won. How much money do you think that is?
46 billion won? 46 billion won, I think, is 100 grand. 5 million. 20 million.
38 million.
Oh, I'd kill someone for 38 million bucks. Yeah, that's a lot.
What
Yeah.
would you do for $38 million?
What would I do for, you know what I've done for a lot less? I'm kidding. Sick. No, I don't want to compete in a game where I could potentially die, because guess what's happening if I compete in that game? I am dying. Fast. And quickly.
The second game is sugar honeycomb. The shape you have chosen is the shape you must remove from the honeycomb.
So the Dalgona Candy Challenge is a challenge where you have to get the shape out of the cookie without breaking it. So I'm going to attempt to do that right now. So I have to try to get the star out of this. I'm scared. How am I supposed to do this? This is impossible. I'm dead already. Oh my God, I had good glam today. Let me try some more. Oh, I broke the star off.
Try licking the back of it.
Is this legal?
Yeah.
What is this? It looks wet. Oh my God, this is a joke. Who the has time for this? It tastes like butterscotch. You know what that is? It's a ball of cellulite on your ass is what that is. Kind of good. It's good, huh? Hi! Oh my God, so much is going on. It's my husband's birthday this week. It's on the 21st. You know whose birthday is also October 21st? Our very own Kim Kardashian West. So I've been in birthday planning mode, because you gotta do something on the day, and then you do the party, and then I've invited all of his friends to the party, and somehow people have a difficulty RSVPing. Like, they think that's optional. It's like, no. It's a sit-down dinner. I need to know if you're coming or not. I am a working mother. The biggest news that everyone cannot stop talking about, for some reason I was the most surprised by, Kourtney and Travis have gotten engaged. I want to get into this. I loved them together. I felt the connection. I felt the lust. I felt the love. And fun fact, and I think I've said this on previous Realness episodes, Travis has been in the Kardashian clan for a long time. He has not always been front and center because they weren't dating. He lives in Calabasas. His kids are friends with her kids. Like, he has been in the fold for a while. And then I think one day they just looked at each other and were like, we should make out. Like, why don't we just make out? Which I get, I've been there. I always just think of them like swapping spit and like touching like things of each other's and like making it gooey. Like, I feel like the lubricant like sprays on you when you walk by them. I didn't for some reason think they were gonna be man and wife. Did you? Right? I never was like, and I'm happy they are. I'm also shocked by the ring. I just was expecting, like, I don't know, a black diamond or like 3 diamonds in one or something that made like a portrait of their faces making out. I don't know. People are speculating, allegedly, that Kourtney and Travis have been engaged for a few months and that this engagement was really solely planned for the purpose of their new show. Like, also, if I'm walking up to that many roses, I know I'm getting proposed to. Which I have to say, I feel like we did hear whispers, his child congratulated them, and then it sort of went away and was very hush-hush, which, you know, Kris Jenner got on the phone and made 3 calls and said, this isn't gonna happen because we just die for her and we do whatever she says. I think they've probably been engaged for a while. I think Scott was incapable of handling Kourtney. I think they went separate ways a long time ago emotionally. I think she always felt like, in a way, she got used to Scott and loved him at one point. The last time that Scott and Kourtney were ever really a couple and really did have romantic, genuine feelings of investment towards one another was when they were first starting the Kardashians. I think he's probably surprised because he was always in the lead. He was always the one sort of having these side chicks, not side chicks, but relationships come and go with these 21-year-olds. And she was always sort of there, taking care of their kids, being, you know, a Kardashian and like living her life and doing poosh and like the romantic interest. Like, I think even for him, he thought, well, that's just not going to happen for Kourtney. And the reality is she found somebody and she should have. She sat back and swallowed a lot. Scott is the original red flag. We didn't think Scott was a red flag when he shoved that $100 bill in the waiter's mouth. So Lala Kent and Randall Emmett called off their engagement. Well, I'm going to rephrase that. Lala called off her engagement to Randall Emmett after 3 years because I think allegedly he's been doing some he shouldn't be doing, and she's not dealing with it. Fun fact, I did meet Lala recently at Watch What Happens Live, and she was personable, lovely, and beautiful, and she gave me a baby nurse's information to help with my new baby. So I'm very team Lala. Allegedly cheating when, you know, you have a 7-month-old. You're trying to figure out what meal prep is. You have to feed your child apparently 3 different meals a day. Is that not insane? I can barely feed myself 3 meals a day. Not a good situation, but I do think she's handling it well. Her social media has stayed the same. She's focused on baby. Here's the main red flag for me and Randall Emmett is that he is wearing voluntarily see-through sweaters. That's a no-no. That's a no to the no, no, no. No, no, no. No, no. Who wears see-through sweaters? Unless you're JLo. Last week, I experienced one of the worst flus I have ever had in my entire life. I was very upset, but I had to stay in bed for a full 5 days. No COVID, 5 tests later, every single day. There was like body aches, there was throat, there was head, there was all these things. But miraculously, my husband didn't get sick, my baby didn't get sick, no one got sick. And I got better. And then I blossomed into a strawberry. Hi! So when I was gone, all I wanted to tell you guys about was Jordan's birthday. We had an unbelievable evening. I threw a very nice event. It was so well done. I mean, first of all, I'm a crazy person, so I obviously went and chose linens, and then I went and chose chargers, and I went and chose napkins, and I had to do a floral trial because I wanted to make sure that the flowers were masculine and everything flowed together in terms of a color scheme. And I just feel like I'm so good at this, you know? And the table looked stunning. I could talk about the table all day. I have to give a shout out to my mother-in-law. Okay, I can't take credit. And she said, you take credit for this if you want. She was like, what, how's it going? Whatever. Did I just malfunction? Why did I just, whatever? And I said, well, we could get everybody a little treat. You know, I haven't thought about that. And she goes, okay, why don't we get everyone magnum bottles of 1942 and have them individually on the table for everybody? And I was like, okay. Within an hour, she had every single person, which was 32 people, bottle of Magnum 1942, had a calligrapher write everyone's name handwritten on the bottle, and they were a hit. They were a hit. I had none of it. Yeah, my life sucks. But anyway, a lot of fun guests. It was a really, really nice evening, and you're always kind of worried. First of all, the seating chart took me 2 days. I could do the state dinner after this party. There were so many different people coming. There were groups of people. Not everybody was a couple. So what I did was printed out everyone's name, and so I cut everybody's name out individually, and I placed everybody's. I was Anna Windtouring this birthday party. I have 14 screenshots of where the everyone was gonna sit and kept playing, like, what's the game where you know, that game that, I don't know, that you, cat and mouse, whatever. And I also realized I have no ability to cut in a straight line. I'm so underdeveloped in a lot of ways. Oh, the party. The party was amazing. Let's talk about my dress. Do you have anything to say about it? Vanessa's asking, so I will say yes, my dress was Tom Ford. I went to Tom Ford and I tried it on and I was like, oh, this is not gonna work. And the dress was big, so I had to get it tailored. And the boots were YSL, and I had them, and I was like, oh, this is cute, because I didn't want to do a dainty heel. I wanted to be a little edgy. And then I saw a picture of the dress with somebody who's not pregnant. Whew, that's a nice dress. Like, I was filling it out. You know what I mean? Am I on the cover of my book today? Warm days, hard nights. It's so like stories I've learned. Meanwhile, Ro doesn't talk to me and 400 tattoos on the face. I don't have any camel sweaters. Sorry. Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian has gotten the world turned upside down. Everybody is losing their minds over that handhold, that hand lock. When I first saw the photo, I just thought, my first thoughts were Kim looks so young and fresh, and it's annoying how beautiful she is. It just works all the time. My second thought was, he dated Rihanna. Could this be something? Is this something? Am I supposed to think this is something? Then I went to SNL. I knew they had the peck. He's kind of a cool, fun guy. I feel like he would be the perfect, I don't even want to say rebound, but perfect person for her to be hanging out with, because he's the opposite of anybody she has ever dated. And I think she is exploring kind of a goofier, fun, lighthearted side where she's not taking herself that seriously. I think she's not in a place right now where she wants like somebody to have like a 360 view of her every second, being like, gloves, jacket, fashion, this. She did that. She's given us Paris Fashion Week. She sustained herself. She has made a name. The fact that all of that went through my mind over one photo. I am weirdly naive and don't believe that people are always. But then I'm like, how do I not think everyone's always? But I don't, because not everyone is always. But then, this is a very intimate way to hold hands. And then I thought of myself on the ride. If there was somebody next to me that I was like interested in or not interested in platonic with, I would like hold onto their arms and snuggle. So this is Pete and this is me, and we're snuggling. Imagine there was a big hole through this pillow. I would put my arm through this pillow and I would snuggle. Snuggies. I wouldn't do this. This is intimate to me. This feels like we know each other. This feels like things fit within one another. But I still don't think they're. I think that whatever Kim Kardashian does gets press. If she goes and gets a yogurt, it's gonna get press. We're gonna see about it. We're gonna talk about it. She's gonna be in sweatpants, like, you know, is she with North? So at some point you have to just be mega famous and live your life the way you're gonna live your life. They run in the same circles. I mean, the fact that they went to Knott's Berry Farm, that was the real red flag. Who goes to that? That was like on the calendar at the end of camp where you're like, oh, you have Knott's coming up because you did all the good amusement parks and water parks first. It was like week 5 of camp, and my mom was like, you have Knott's Berry Farm today. I'm like, what the are we going there for? Like, I'm sick today then. They were together at Kid Cudi's birthday party in 2019 at Nobu. This is my point. People who are famous run in famous people's circles. We've been in this gray area with her and Kanye, and I'm ready for that to, like, be one way or the other. Like, are you done? If you're done, like, let's be done, because I want to see Kim, like, have fun and parade around. If they start to pop up more frequently together, that's when things start to get me swimming through the murk. Right? This is murky. I've realized in therapy I can't have any murkiness on my side. Everything has to be very clear for me to function. Then I think they're potentially doing some stuff together for sure. And I want Kim, I want Kim to be Kim, and we are no longer associating her with Kanye. Because even around SNL, Kanye was sort of there, and it was like, what are you guys sort of like in love? And I was down for that ride, but now not knowing, even though it's not my business, I want to know, are we still entertaining or are we divorcing? Because then she also said on SNL that they're divorcing, but that's not finalized. Do you know what I'm saying? I like Kim and Pete together for 4 months. I think that's all she needs. Kim has had her children, she has had her husband. She wants fun, and she wants to sort of like, she's in the sort of twilight phase of her life where she gets to like enjoy her success and be who she is and like just chill and not feel like she's not needing to climb right now. You know who's climbing? Me. I'm tired. Those are my thoughts. I'm pregnant. I have to sit like this for a minute. It's a very chaotic month. Did you read your horoscope? Did you? Did you read yours? No one's read it. No one's tuned into this. There's eclipses. There was a full moon. I'm very worried about November 19th. I'm trying not to manifest it. I got so crazy the other day that my husband had to Google that there were or do the math, I should say, that there are over 7 million Geminis in the world. And not everybody is gonna have a big secret happen, like revealed to them. So then he tried to calm me down. That's how out of my mind I got about how nervous I am. Show them my trick. Leave it in. Ooh, it fell. So People magazine has announced their choice for sexiest man alive, and I like it. Je ne sais quoi, bitch. I think something that makes someone sexy is having good table manners, somebody that takes charge, and somebody that knows what they like, and somebody that has good taste. And somebody that's like, yeah, knows who they are, not caught up in the minutia. That's important. I think that's sexy, because I'm caught up in all of it. I'm like molecular minutia. I am like, what can I attach my thoughts to next? So this got me thinking, obviously, that I want to do my own list. So I'm going to just throw out things that I think are sexy, like strawberries, my husband, and lube. Oh, that's what threw you? I had some other things. George Clooney. George Clooney's the ultimate zaddy. He's always been salt and pepper. He's always been masculine in a way. He's always sort of been like older and regal. I don't know, I feel like George Clooney's name could also be like Holden or something, right? Like it's just powerful. There's a Charlton Heston effect. Everyone's gonna be like, who's that? And then also my father-in-law gets that a lot. Zaddy, 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 daddy, which I'm not gonna call him that, that's creepy, but he does get that, so shout out to him. I'm a big Colin Gross fan. I love him. Weekend update. So here's the thing about him. You know I like him? Harvard. Went to Harvard. He's smart. Head writer, been in SNL for a long time. I spend so much time on Wikipedia, and I always give them money. I want to make sure that they exist. So I know everyone's birthday. Javier Bardem, because what the why not? What the is there to talk about? You know, No Country for Old Men. Terrifying. When he like walks in drag and there's like blood. I've only seen one scene, but still, good movie. I love the accent. He's with Penelope. You know they're just like, and also Vicky Cristina Barcelona. Are you joking? Incredible film. Penelope was so hot in that. She's so hot. Selma's hot too. All of them combined are in my sexy list. Harry Styles. Just because I feel like everything he wears he owns, it's like so well done. I don't know, I just like it. It's just the right amount. He just has it. The androgyny, I'm all about it, but I just feel like all of the people I'm mentioning, they might not be the obvious in terms of sexy, but they have something that you can't explain, and having that is why people are stars. And so I relate to that. Do you know what I mean? No matter how much you hate me, you still want to watch me. I watch my own videos and smile. That's how you know. Even though I'm being annoying, I'm like, she's so funny and good. I'm starving. Josh O'Connor in The Crown, playing Prince Philip. No, Prince Charles. Josh O'Connor, all dizay, bitch. I'm all about Josh O'Connor. And his birthday, thank you Wikipedia, May 20th. And I am May 22nd. So we're definitely in that world of just, we would not get along. But anyway, he is the one for me. He's the one for me. I'm gonna be a mother of 2. That's insane. I'm exhausted. Does no one know I'm making a spinal cord today in my uterus? Like in the Thriller video when he comes out, like dead. When the music comes on and Vincent Price is done talking, just, that's me. That's who I have become. Is this my shrink couch? 2007 would be so proud, you guys. Our icons, our living legends, our princesses have become full circle. Britney, free. Lindsay, acting. Again, by the way, random fact about Lindsay Lohan that people have forgotten. Great actress. And guess who else? Paris Hilton, married. Also, I'm working. 2007 for me was, whoa, like one brown hair extension hanging onto one piece of my head and like a lot of donuts. Anyway, we're all thriving. We're alive and well in 2021. Yeah, that's the year. 2007 was like, you were being canceled every day. If you were a major celebrity, there was no grace. It was the year of the vagina shot. It was everyone's labia was front page news. No one gave a fizz about it. I mean, Perez Hilton was literally drawing jizz on people's mouth. It was insane. Those girls are badass bitches. They've gone through things that this generation of girls will never have to go through. Social media was not, obviously, it was just the start of social media. It wasn't as prevalent as it is now, but we still had phones back then. I'm here for Paris Hilton's wedding. I thought it was in true Paris fashion. I think she did an incredible job. 3-day affair fitted Oscar de la Renta to perfection. The applique, gorgeous. She looked unbelievable. Every dress was unbelievable. I wasn't invited to that, but it's okay. I guess I thought of Paris as somebody who's been engaged so many times. I just, for whatever reason, didn't realize how big of a deal it was that she was actually like, this is the person she's marrying. And I just never thought that was gonna happen. I thought she was just gonna party on. Because her face, here's the thing, people who can continue to party are people that don't get affected by it in terms of what they look like. Paris Hilton is flawless in the face. Gorgeous, stunning, not a bad day, can not sleep all night. I have one bad day, both eyes don't open. I am rusty, I am rugged, I am patchy, I am tired, so I had to slow down. Paris doesn't, she's fairy tale Paris. Britney Spears, I mean, it has been a 13-year ordeal. She is finally free. She has nobody to answer to. She is able to drive around the city in her own car that she pays for with her own fiance slash boyfriend slash maybe husband tomorrow. She can do whatever the she wants, and I'm living for it. So Britney is out celebrating. She was able to have her first glass of champagne. She is living in the moment. She's taking everything in. All these little things that we have taken for granted for so long. Britney is out there getting to relive those moments, and I'm very happy for her. So Lindsay Lohan is starring in a holiday movie for Netflix. I mean, we haven't seen Lindsay in years. She's kind of popped in and out. She's done some reality shows, whatever. But now the fact that she's back, she has a role in a film. All my girls. I mean, these were my girls. Like the Bella Hadids, the Kendall Jenners. These are all of like the girls that I was as girls now. What am I saying?
Clip it to your shirt.
No, it's funny if we do it this way. You think that 2007 is 1958. We need to be in. My husband had the wild idea that we were going to have a holiday party, which is very festive of him. I'm just particularly really into having gatherings of really fun people with really good alcohol and food because, again, I can't drink anything, so I love that stuff. Super fun. So we're going to do a backyard holiday bash. And I was like, okay, we should do like just flowers and pretty lights and like minimal holiday. And he was like, there has to be Santa Claus. So we're very different people. Like I'm very good at making something like sophisticated and chic and like look presentable, but I don't have the imagination, shall we say, to like create like a winter wonderland because I'm just like the Grinch. Oh my God, I feel like I just told you my whole life story. It's supposed to be cuffing season, but most people are uncuffing and throwing away the key because so many people are breaking up. Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes. It's honestly nothing I would have predicted, at least not before Thanksgiving. This was a couple that was together through an entire pandemic. They were living with her parents in Florida. That says something. This was not like a couple that was, you know, holed down in New York City together, sharing an apartment and like going out and like hanging out in Tribeca and getting coffee at their local spot. Like they were fully embedded in like living with her family. But I'm excited to see them go their separate ways and become the people that they're meant to become, and I think that they'll be friends. From one of my favorite shows, Unorthodox Life, Ben and Bathsheba. Ay. I'm upset. I felt like they made it out of the community together. They were building a life in New York City. I felt they were adorable. They really had a cute dynamic, and I enjoyed watching them, and I really felt like they were evolving, but at the end of the day, like, what do you expect? These are two people that have not experienced anything in the world and are just starting to, other than each other and other than a shared faith that they're both exiting from. It was sad for me. I love the name Bathsheba. It has such a feeling of heavy, like you want to donate to that cause. Gigi and Zayn have broken up once again. Always sad, obviously, because she has a baby and she, you know, that's not easy to deal with, I would imagine. Gigi and Zayn have broken up and gotten back together a few times. I do not think that they will be getting back together. I think that this is a done deal for them, and I think that they're gonna do their best to get back to a place of being cordial enough to co-parent, but I think romantically, Gigi is floating on. Jacob and Kaya. I'm upset about this couple. I don't know, I just felt like they got each other and had a good time, so I'm pretty bummed that they're not gonna be together anymore, but now that I think about it, I feel like 1 year is a very clean time to break up in your relationship. It doesn't get into that weird 15-month situation. It doesn't get weird into like, oh, we're going into 2 years, but it's just shy of 2 years. It's like, we had one good year, we're gonna take our medicine right now, it's gonna hurt a little bit, And in a few months, they'll be over it. And I think that's a healthy way to go. I did Pilates with Kaya once. I was like 8 weeks postpartum. I did not want to be there next to her. I was like, oh God, this is so not fun for me or my ego. I'm doing good. I'm having a little bit of like I have some stinging, but not in a bad way. I wore a coat to my shows. Was not the plan originally. I wore it this morning. There's definitely toothpaste on it somewhere. And I've decided to keep it on for the rest of the day. Do you like it? It's fall fashion, huh? I am not going to subject myself to freezing my titties off every single day on these studio sets. I'm not doing it. So now I am this person. Ladies who lunch at work. Let's do a Get Real. Tori says, will you be revealing baby number 2's gender? Can't wait to hear the name. I don't think we have any plans to reveal the gender. I think we're just gonna let things be until baby comes out. Here's some scoop. We've been having a very difficult time with names. Ro came to me very early on in my pregnancy, and it was very much like, what about Ro? And that was it. Send me good names. If you guys have good name suggestions, send me names, because we've been trying and it's been very hard. Amy Fuentes says, hi Morgan, I just wanted to say I love you and thank you for always making me laugh. I could watch you for hours. Question, what is your ultimate cheat meal? My ultimate cheat meal, I think, is probably, I guess it's a 10-piece chicken nugget, side of sweet and sour, and fries and a Coke. The Coke, when it just burns your mouth a little bit. God, there's nothing better. I don't care if the fries are 4 days old. I could always have it. I would also really like to source a raspberry tart that's delicious. I'm talking raspberry, I'm talking custard, and I'm talking just a crispy shell around. I don't want it to be Hostess cupcake. You know, that? What is it when it's like smushy, sticky? What is it? You know what I mean? I don't want that. I'm a big fruit dessert person. Do you know that about me? Yes? Yes, you do? I like chocolate and raspberries, but like I don't want to do a chocolate cake. I need something to break it up. But I don't want a tres leches. No, not for me. You know what I don't want on my fruit tart? You guys ready? Everyone's riveted. Orange. Why the are you putting the orange? And it's always wet, like it's been soaked in lube. I don't want to suck a lubey orange. I don't want a lubey orange in my mouth. Do you? What are they putting on these tarts? Lily Simon says, would you rather have Phoebe Philo design a dress for you to the Met Gala, to wear to the Met Gala, or have the Olsen twins? Phoebe Philo. I love me some Ro. Love it. Want to wear it in the day. Want to wear it to my lunch. Want to wear it to dinner. It's not my going out aesthetic. I'm not cool enough to pretend to not care enough. I just can't do it. Phoebe is fashion visionary, and I would definitely stick to her. Words written by me. What are you looking forward to the most in terms of becoming a mom of 2 kids? I'm really looking forward to feeling like our house is even and fulfilled. And I'm looking forward to, I guess, meeting this other person and seeing, I mean, it's nuts. That's insane. I really just got extra credit, huh? Just did it all, banged it out. Oh my God, Tori says, any advice for a newly pregnant mama? Help me with managing nausea, please. Oh my God, I feel for you, girl. I was so sick with Ro. It was insane. To be honest, you just have to grin and bear it. Lots of Gatorade, lots of water, and just honestly throw up as much as you possibly can. Don't fight it. Jacinta Cody says, I love your quick wit humor. Do you tone it down in front of Dr. Phil and Robin? I do not tone it down, but I definitely limit it. Is that the same thing? It's more like I'm actually the exact same, but I think I'm more aware of what I'm saying, not in a way that I censor myself, but like more like, oh, is this gonna, you know, because Phil is very quiet in real life. He chats, but he's definitely an intimidating figure, but like the nicest person in the world. Robin is hilarious, so I go all day with her and just chirp, chirp, chirp. We're like 2 birds. Just chirp, chirp. Oh my God, oh my God. No, I don't think I tone it down. I think I'm probably still have that feeling of like, these are my husband's parents. It's a little nerve-wracking. Phil's an internal laugher, I think. Like he's listening and laughing inside. I made him laugh at Thanksgiving. It was like he goes, do you go on Scholastic Google? I said, Phil, let me answer that question for you. Do you think I go on Scholastic Google like you? No. I'm not reading a book a week or a day. And he chuckled at that, and it was a big accomplishment for me. He goes, I'm like, yeah. And then they were talking about like all this different stuff, and my dad's like, is that guy a scientist? I'm like, can everyone stop talking? Oh, let's talk about my TV shows. Does that make a sensey? Okay. I am watching so much television right now. I'm a big binger. I watch everything at once. We like sit and we just get through it. And I'm like definitely a light watcher where like I'm texting a lot but then also tuning in. But I just, as long as something I like is on TV, I don't need to be paying attention to it, which is weird. First of all, I just finished Acapulco. I love Acapulco. So Acapulco is about a guy that started working at a resort called Las Colinas, and he is now in present day, and he is retelling his story of how he has come up in the world to his nephew, which is very exciting because you see him now and where he lives now and his past. It's fun and upbeat and light, but has momentum and good pacing. I've been watching The Shrink Next Door with Will Ferrell. It's going to be a little bit of a spoiler, but Paul Rudd plays a shrink in The Shrink Next Door. Will Ferrell is his patient, and you get to see the direction in which their relationship evolves and how that might not be the most healthy dynamic between therapist and patient. And he basically steals his entire life and manipulates people out of his circle. That show makes me highly uncomfortable because I really relate to being in a place in your life where you do not see things clearly and things you can be manipulated out of, like who you are a little bit. Was that really deep for Necessary Realness? Leave it in, it's fine. The Sex Life of College Girls. I love that show. I think it's very fun. I think it's very now. I like all the different girls. You know, it's usually you like one character. I like all of the characters. I like that they all have their own things going on. One's the coach, one is a secret lesbian, one is having all that hot sex with the brother. Is this a spoiler alert? Have you guys seen the show? When did they start? I was like, oh my God. Like on every surface, they're all having a good old time. And it makes me want to go back to college for the 5 minutes I was there. Okay, have you watched Sort of? Have you guys watched Sort of? You guys, it's about Sebi. It's about a non-binary nanny named Sebi who is one of the most likable people on television that I've seen in a very long time. I binged it in literally a day with my husband. It's a very good, fun, easy, cute watch, but also like has very serious moments, and just you fall in love with them. You really do. The morning show takes me to a place, you guys. Takes me to a place. Working at a television network, seeing the dynamics and the interpersonal relationships that form, and just like the anxieties of somebody that is on television every day, like, I just relate. It's a good show. There's something really good about it. Jen just nails it for me. Love Jenny. Jenny and Billy Crudup. Remember Billy Crudup? He's really good in it too. Are you going to keep twirling your finger like that for the next hour? From last season to this season, we are obviously talking about the 2020 pandemic. COVID is everywhere. Steve Carell's character, spoiler alert, unfortunately does not make it past a certain episode. He is no longer going to be on the show. Jen Aniston really evolves. What I do really like about the dynamic between Jen and Reese's character is that no matter what they do, sort of always support each other and come out together, which I think is a really nice reminder of, like, even if you work with somebody on television or every single day and you don't like them, it still becomes like a little bit of a dysfunctional family and you have their back no matter what. And just like that. And I don't feel like that title represents how long it felt for that show to come on air. Wow. Took forever, and finally it has premiered, and I don't know how I feel about it yet. Obviously, the biggest shocker at the end of the first episode was Big dying. I still have to gather my opinions. There's so much that unfolded. They've mixed up the cast. They have brought in some new characters, and I'm excited to follow along and see the rest of the season. I'm excited to see what unfolds. I'm gonna miss Sam. Samantha Jones. Dirty bastard. I mean, Samantha Jones is literally one of the most iconic television characters in the last 50 years. I mean, I literally put her on par with Lucille Ball. I'm not kidding. A lot has happened in 2021. I gave birth to my first child. I went back to work. I had health issues. Remember that? So traumatic. It was a lot to struggle with. Seriously. A lot has been jam-packed in. I do music class. I have mom group. I don't leave my house ever. I don't go to dinner. I've become extremely well-dressed. Have you noticed that? It's weird. It's like, it's just becoming like a, oh, she just does that every day kind of vibe. When it burns down my throat, it makes my nipples hard. There has been tons of celebrity headlines this year. 2021 gave us Bennifer back together. Frenzy, losing their minds over the fact that JLo and Ben have rekindled their very iconic romance. They were recreating the yacht photos that we all loved from 20 years ago. She was giving us pink bikini. He was giving us little butt rubs. Ooh, God, remember they were together all those years ago. There was a pink diamond. This was when JLo was giving us the signature JLo glam, when it was like dusty and like a pink lip glossy, and she was always doing the back do. JLo was so chic then. They were very hot. This is when Ben was like tan, tall, dark, and handsome. And 2021 gave us the year of the Kardashian headlines. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, these women are here to stay. We got Kravis. It was Kourtney's year. She took her man by the tongue, and we all stood by and died for it. Loved it. Kim leaving Kanye, devastating. Really happy they're over now. Like, I feel like she's living her best life. Kris, still happy. It was the end of an era. Obviously, Kardashians no longer will be airing on E! Obviously, Oprah got the interview of the year with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry discussing Megxit. Oh, all the drama, all of the salacious details we got from that. I love Oprah's interview nook in Montecito. Just so, the 2 chairs, it's vineyard style, feels very Tuscan. It's just all very, 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 very upper echelon. That interview was insane. Sadly, Prince Philip passed away this year. I loved Prince Philip. I thought he was feisty. He lived till like 210 years old, so he had a good life. Obviously, Meghan and Harry had their second baby, named after the Queen, Lilibet. All year long, we saw everybody fighting for Britney, and the outcome was victorious. She is now free, ready to bop and dance and whip those hair extensions around and kiss her man in Cabo. After 13 years of having that conservatorship, she is able to tweet, type, Instagram, TikTok. Obviously, we have to talk about JoJo Siwa being the first child star to come out. I love JoJo. I've had the pleasure of interviewing her a few times. That girl is hyper intelligent, and she seems very comfortable with herself and happy, and I like that. And she was the first woman-on-woman dancing partners on Dancing with the Stars. So she's an incredible role model for everybody, and I love that she's giving us new looks as of late. Taylor Swift has come out with new music. Well, she has re-recorded old music, and Jake Gyllenhaal has been hiding. He is not into it. The scarf is still missing. There's so many unanswered questions, all of it. But I'm still here for Taylor. I love her. I really do love her music. Welcome to New York. Welcome to New York. Don't you love this time together? You can ask me about my anniversary. That feels impersonal. First, I had the idea that I was going to get our wedding cake, the last 2 tiers, recreated, okay? Which was adorable and so thoughtful. And I was also really selfish because I was like, I'm pregnant, I want cake. So that was number 1. Then I set up the chef that did our wedding. I said, I'm going to do a surprise dinner for him, for the 2 of us, and have the chef come and cook. But then I thought of the other idea where I had Mr. Cartoon, who, if you don't know who that is a very famous tattoo artist, in my home. So I took Jordan to lunch, and then I surprised him with Mr. Cartoon being in his studio to give him his tattoo at home. How nice is that?
Hey guys, we've got a new weekly show every Thursday on the E! News channel featuring celebrities revealing their favorite and funniest DMs. Be sure to check out this week's episode of Down in the DMs featuring Bretman Rock, so click here and check out the whole playlist now.